hospital. The campus will reopen tomorrow.
We've been hearing about this for decades. California's water problems, the fight between North and South. Well, anytime now, we expect to learn details of the legislature's master plan to restructure the state's water system, the biggest plan of its kind in half a century. Our Jeffrey Schaub tells us that it would be like taking all that plumbing out of your house and then starting from scratch. On the Green Beat, Jeffrey has early information about what this plan's all about.
Jerry Newberger is an avid sport fisherman. He's spent decades watching the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta's fragile ecosystem decay because much of the water that flows through it is shipped to Southern California.
The problem is basically that California's over-allocated water, and it's done it for years and years and years. Some of the estimates are that California's over-allocated the amount of water available by as much as 8.5 times.
In Sacramento, Tina Andolina of the Planning and Conservation League says saving the Delta is at the heart of the water bill now being hammered out in the two houses of the state legislature.
How much water is needed in the Delta to stabilize the fish populations and ensure water quality?
But the bigger picture is this: how to rebuild a water delivery system built way back when Pat Brown was governor.
Remember, it was built back in the late 50s, early 60s for a population of 18 million people. We now have close to 40 million, and very soon, over the next couple of decades, we'll be at 50 million people.
Why is this all coming to a head now? Because Governor Schwarzenegger has made it a top priority amid a 4-year drought, and he's rattled enough heads in Sacramento to get it moving. Top on the governor's list, construction of a colossal 60-mile-long canal around the Delta, using one of two alignments, east or west, not far from Stockton. The canal would take water from northern rivers and pump it to Southern California, leaving just enough water for the Delta to flourish. But the plan is not without its detractors. It seems everybody's got a dog in this fight. We're here in Sacramento County, where they're just about to harvest this corn. Ranchers and farmers in the northern part of the state are upset with the water plan because they're afraid that a lot of their water is going to end up in the southern part of the state. Legislators are also considering whether to build several new dams and reservoirs along the Central Valley to store more water for agriculture. These and the canal plan could end up costing nearly $100 billion, much of it requiring voter-approved bonds, something the public may or may not be in the mood for, considering the state's current economic mess.
We see some very important reasons to have more above ground storage. Obviously, the one that is most important is that it holds water back in wet years, allows us to manage wet year flows much better than we do now, so we don't lose all that water to the ocean.
But with California in an ocean of debt, the state's water woes may remain as murky as the Delta itself, mired in politics and lawsuits and no money to keep the plan afloat. In Sacramento, on the Green Beat, Jeffrey Schaub, CBS 5.
We're being told the legislature is expected to hammer out a deal in time for floor votes just before recess begins next Friday.
The clock